In this lab, we can do a chemical kinetics experiment. What we will do is, in the 600 ml beaker, we will prepare a mixture of chemicals which after a certain amount of time will change color because of a chemical reaction. The mixture of chemicals that we will place into the beaker is made up of some chemicals for which the volumes aren't all that accurate and some which are accurate. We start with adding some H2O, which does not need to be known all that accurately, and so we will use a graduated cylinder. Next on the list of chemicals is a buffer solution, which also does not need to be known that accurately, approximately 25 milliliters. And next we will add a solution of potassium iodide, which does have to have its volume controlled. So for this addition we will use a 25 milliliter pipette, which is drawn into the glass through the use of a pipette bulb. We then add that to the mixture. Be sure to touch the tip of the pipette to the side of the glass to get all of the material into the mixture. Next we can add the starch, which also does not need to be known all that accurately. A simple graduated cylinder will work. And next we need to add the sodium thiosulfite, which does need to have a very accurate volume, and so once again we will use a clean pipette to add 25 milliliters to the mixture. We have one more ingredient to add to our mixture, and that is the hydrogen peroxide, the H2O2. Before we add that from the graduated cylinder, we should be ready to stir the mixture and begin the timer, because the chemistry will begin once we add the H2O2. For the kinetics lab experiments, we make 5 mixtures which we label A, B, C, D, and E. And if we take a moment to look at the difference between these 5 mixtures, we find that mixtures A, B, and C differ in the amounts of the potassium iodide that are added to the mixture, and mixtures C, D, and E have differing amounts of the hydrogen peroxide that is added to the mixture. Focusing in on A, B, and C, if the potassium iodide has no influence upon the rate of the reaction, then changing the amount of potassium iodide present would have no effect upon the rate. However, if there is an effect on the rate, then this would show up in the analysis of the data for these 3 mixtures, and likewise for C, D, and E for these 3 mixtures. Recall that when measuring the rate, the faster the rate, the shorter the time for the experiment.